Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, verse number 50. Buddhi Yukto Jahatiha Ubhe Sukrita Dushkrite Tasmad Yogaya Yujyasva Yoga Karmasu Kaushalam. If one can maintain a balanced mind, one is able to abandon virtue and vice. Therefore, engage yourself in the practice of Buddhi Yoga. The performance of action with a balanced mind is indeed the skill in yoga. So many ideas are put together. That's the style of scriptures. Skill in yoga has two implications. How to do your sadhana so skillfully that you don't even know you are doing sadhana. Ride your bike. How to ride it so skillfully that as if you are not stably floating. But if you keep on the bike disbalanced, one bag this side hanging too much, the other side less. Then you get exhausted. So the art of good bicycling is perfect coordination, perfect balance. In the same way, art of living day by day. Integral yoga must enter your life, which means do your duties well. That's karma yoga. Develop devotional feeling day by day, japa, prayer, bhakti yoga. Learn the art of meditation. Again, little by little, day by day. That's called dhyana yoga. And it goes on understanding what is it all about. Why are you living? Why is this whole world around you? Why does the Earth planet go around the sun and is never tired of it? Now, at a serious level, if one were to maintain a balanced mind, one is able to abandon virtue and vice. For many people, it's hard to understand. It's good to abandon vice. Why to abandon virtue? But here we are relating to karmas. Karmas are always good or evil. Even when you do good karma, there is some portion of evil in it. For example, you give charity to 50, 60 people. And while doing that, you stepped upon the toes of 3 or 4 people. I'm just making a humor. To understand, nothing in the world is perfect. So, your good karma will give you pleasant situations. And the negative karma will bring thorns in your pleasant situation. Think of a rose bush. Rose part, good karma. But the thorn, you want to get the rose and your hand gets pierced by thorns. Virtue and vice, they go together in life. If you have virtuous karmas, You have to come to enjoy it. Nature has been created in such a way, nature doesn't want to be indebted to you. Want to give you pleasure as a result of virtuous karma. And as a result of sinful or negative karma, nature wants to give you also adverse situation. Liberation is not to be involved with karma, neither virtue nor vice. Naturally, from practical point of view, move away from negative karmas, be involved with positive karma. Virtuous karma, you don't have to think too much about it. Virtuous karma is always better. Light is always better than darkness. But if you add to your virtuous karma devotion to God, practice of integral yoga, then what you are expecting out of good karma is closeness with God, not something that will come to you, someone give you a wonderful necklace, or someone gives you some reward. Reward should not be your goal. Good karma should lead you to be closer to God, and so therefore enable you to enjoy inner peace so much that you discover your soul eternal. If that realization becomes full, you are not born again. So that is the goal. Goal is liberation. Liberation is possible only when you go beyond good and evil, both karmas. So that's what it meant by one is able to abandon virtue and vice. Therefore, engage yourself in the practice of Buddhi Yoga. Buddhi is intellect. Involve your intellect into the process of attaining enlightenment, of attaining the goal of life. This involvement has two aspects, Sankhya Buddhi, Yoga Buddhi. Sankhya Buddhi means theoretical aspect. Allow your intellect to understand the theory relating to immortality of the soul, transience of the body, and the transience of the world, and the need to perform your duty unwaveringly, not to live a life of inertia, dullness. Three things enter your intellect, then you have a theoretical grasp of the ideal, to reiterate immortality of the soul. Each one you need to digest it with satsanga, with patience. Easily said, immortality of the soul, which means you are immortal. But when you hear it, how many people feel that their faces are shining? But when you hear that you have won a lottery, see how much you become elated. Even though what you have earned is a trifle in the course of time, and yet it gives you so much thrill. But how it is knowing that your soul is immortal, eternal, deathless, not dependent upon the world, is a ray of God, and therefore the God. The fact is, that knowledge is coming to you in a very theoretical way, intellectual way, and you have to work upon it. So immortality of the soul, that you have to go on assimilating. Two types of buddhi to develop, Sankhya Buddhi, immortality of the soul. Next point, transience of the body and of the world. Transience of the body. The whole world and all its reality depends upon the body. Once you have You are out of your body, and once you have kicked the body, speaking in a gross language, the whole world has gone away from you. And this body on which your whole world experience depends, that body is changing, is transient. And that's the reality, an overpowering reality before your eyes. When people hear a great calamity coming with wind, storms, they become extremely affected. How many people have died? But even without the calamities, day by day, how many people die? If they die in the hospital, is it in any way a comfortable death? Death is calamity no matter what. Whether one dies in hospital, whether one dies because of old age, or dies young, death is a terrible calamity. And it is happening always because it is the reality. Nobody can stay with the body all the time. This being the reality, you have to understand body is not really you. Body is an instrument. It's like your cell phone. You love it to go wherever you want to be. But that is not you. That's another aspect of Sankhya Buddhi. Immortality of the soul, transience of the body. But while you work upon these insights, never turn away from performing your duties. The idea the world is transient, the body is transient. Your mind should not say, oh, therefore, why to work? Stop work. Enjoy. Stopping the work is not enjoyment. It is a great tragedy. The day you feel paralyzed, nature wants to stop the work, but it's not pleasing at all. The most pathetic development. Therefore, mind must become involved in performing your duty. Your life is kind of a river flowing on. No matter whatever may be the problem, it should not become stagnant. It must flow on. So you must get involved into whatever duty presents itself to you. Every day, the world has been created in such a way, and your karmic flow is there. Every day, duties present themselves to you. You do not have to plan what should I do from morning till evening, and start calculating 22 minutes and 22 and a half minutes in meditation. 30 by 34 minutes for a walk. I'm giving it a humorous way. Calculating all the plan, what you are going to do tomorrow. Instead, leave it in God's hand. Things that you plan today, you may not do it tomorrow. Tomorrow may be big rain, etc. You may have to, and your roof may be leaking, and you may have to do something else. Have a plan, but not that type of mathematical, stressful plan. Have a general plan that should follow day by day in a rhythm. Time to sleep, time to wake up, time to do certain things. All follow like a rhythm. If that happens, then you know the art of life. You live your day and do not end up with stress. And you go on accomplishing great jobs. So swadharma, the duties that come to you naturally, continue to perform. Your intellect must inspire you to do that. And this threefold attention given by the intellect, that intellect called Sankhya Buddhi. This Sankhya Buddhi is supplemented by Yoga Buddhi. Yoga Buddhi is maintaining balance of mind. Yoga Buddhi relates to your involvement in action. So while you are working in the world, doing various deeds, involving yourself in handling various responsibilities, do not forget the importance of samatha. Samatha means equanimity of mind. Any work you handle, if your mind is quiet, serene, you can do that work profoundly, expertly, dexterously, industriously. But your mind is constantly shaking. Suppose I am doing it, I don't succeed, what will happen? Suppose I succeed, what should I do? Both ways your mind is shaking. Then you are not expert in performing action. So that's called Yoga Buddhi, how to handle your activity. And another point in Nishkamata, not to have expectations, but leave the results. If you are doing well and doing it dexterously, wholeheartedly, joyously, the result will be there beyond your expectation. But if you are constantly calculating in your mind, this is the type of result I must have, nothing less, nothing more, then you are not performing your duty. So the moment you feel you are going to succeed, you begin to be too enthusiastic. But the moment you feel that, no, you may not succeed, that immediately say, why am I working all this? I should have been doing something else. That type of mentality will not lead you to success. Divine success requires just perform your duty with love of God in your heart. Duty well performed has allowed God to smile at you. You earn the smile of God within your heart. Even though the result may not be according to your expectations. This form of thinking is Yoga Buddhi, developing samatha in your mind, equanimity, and nishkamata in your action, desirelessness in your action. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janmabandha vinirmukta padam gacchantya. Endowed with a balanced mind, renouncing the fruits of karma, a wise man breaks the fetters of birth and death and goes to the faultless abode of Brahman. Few have developed this twofold buddhi, Sankhya Buddhi, Yoga Buddhi. In other words, if you have the theory and practice both together in your life, endowed with a balanced mind, again repeat, an affirmation. So this form of buddhi, this type of intellect, is characterized by a mind that is not constantly shaking due to expectations of gain and loss. But a mind stays calm, balanced. Renouncing the fruits of karma, you are not constantly looking for the reward. This type of practice removes all the impurities of your heart. It creates chitta shuddhi, purity of heart. Purity of a heart allows your intellect to blossom into intuition. There are three fetters, three great obstacles to your enlightenment: karma, kama, avidya. Karma, fetter of action, that's physical. Physically, you are bonded with your physical body due to karma. Once karma ends, this body will not be there for you. another body will be given. If karma has totally gone away, you will not be given any body and you won't miss it. That's called karma granthi. Next, you are bonded with desires. Lots of desires. All the desires you don't know yourself. Because what you know is what the conscious desires. There are subconscious desires. Load of them. All the load of desire. Desires are like cloud. And cloud exists because of moisture. If the rays of the sun were to burn down the moisture, where is the cloud? Cloud can feel its joy of its existence two ways. Getting more and more moisture, fattened. Or allowing the rays to pass through. When the rays of the sun pass through the cloud begins to develop. Well, good fashion about it. Lot of dazzling colors and thrill. In that process of thrill, the cloud doesn't even know that it is going to be destroyed. It allows itself to melt away. That's the idea of destroying the kama granthi. The desire world of yours is like a cloud. And that cloud is never fulfilled until wisdom passes through it. God becomes the object of love. Then your mind is not holding on to so many fascinations about objects. Clouds of desire begin to fade away. That's kama granthi. And the third type of knot is ignorance, avidya. Ignorance is the disease, a kind of obscurity created in your unconscious. When you enter into deep sleep, what do you experience? When you wake up, you say, I had sound sleep. And then people want to know what else. I knew nothing. The term I knew nothing is an experience of ignorance. To give you a simpler illustration, someone asks you, look up and tell me, what do you see? See, I see the blue sky. Blue sky in itself doesn't exist. If you penetrate the blue sky through a telescope, you will find immense vastness. But all that moves away from your mind and you simply say, oh, what a wonderful blue sky. That's the illustration of ignorance. Look within yourself. All that you know is blanketed by the unknown. That unknown gives you such a thrill. Become relaxed in the arms of the unknown, go to sleep. That's ignorance. That ignorance is removed by enlightenment. That's what we mean by breaking the fetters of birth and death. If you have removed these three obstacles, mala, vikshepa, and avarana, mala, gross impurity, that binds you with the body. Vikshepa, subtle impurity in the form of subtle desires, that binds you with your subtle body. And ignorance binds you with your causal body. All these three knots, fetters, when they are destroyed, then you are yourself. Until then, you are sick, helpless, in a state of bondage. Until then, you are gripped by bhava vyadhi, disease of the world process. In the scriptural study, disease doesn't end with body and mind. Disease means As long as the soul has not secured liberation, it is a patient. It is involved in a big hospital and is suffering from the disease of birth and death. To be born in order to die in order to be born. And the soul is addicted to it. This terrible addiction. And the soul in this process becomes a serial killer. Not killing somebody else, but killing yourself. Again and again. If you look back, just 50, 60 embodiments, and you get a psychic vision, you can even figure out where your bones are. $60 skeletons. It's horrible. And who did it? You did it. You entered one body. You didn't attain enlightenment. Therefore, you have to kick the bucket. You entered into another bucket. Kick it again. It's a horrible description. The soul is called Atmahano Jana, the serial killer, led by karma. As long as this condition exists, you are suffering from a mystic disease. And that your purpose in life is to cure yourself of this disease. If it is not cured, you are going to get into the body and suffer from mental and physical diseases again and again. Disease is of three types: physical, mental, and the disease of the spirit, mystical. The mystical disease is called ignorance, avidya. Until you have cured that disease, your soul is not healthy. When it is cured, the Sanskrit word is swastha. The soul now abides in its own self. It has returned to its own essence. Another word is anamayam, diseaseless. Diseaseless abode of Brahman. That's where you go. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tadagantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. When your intellect crosses the mire of delusion, the twofold intellect that I have described, the Sankhya Buddhi, the Yoga Buddhi, that which gives you a theoretical insight and that which gives you how to apply that insight in the practical world. If you have that, then the intellect allows you to cross over the mire of delusion. Mire of delusion implies every soul faces experience of the world in different planes. Identify with the physical body. You are experiencing the physical world. That world is totally different from your psychological world, the world of your feelings, the world of your sentiments, the world of love and hate. And then there is another world, a world where you have shining intellect, magnanimous heart, divine love. That world is totally different. But all these worlds are mixed up in your day-to-day life. The reality of the physical plane, the reality of the sentimental world, the reality of the rational world, reality of the inspirational world. They are all mixed up. A big medley, a confused khichdi. That's called the mire of delusion. What should the soul expect from this medley of things? It has to cross over. So the reality of the soul transcends the body, the mind, the intellect, the ego. So as long as the soul is involved in these planes, it has caught in a mire, caught in a marshy land. If you step into a marshy land, the more you try to get out of it, the more you succeed to get into it. And that's what the world becomes for you. The more you want to get out of it, that you say, I'm going to retire, I'm going to finish this job, and that's it. But the moment you start doing it, something else comes up. Shruti pratipannate yada sthasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhi tada yogam avapsyasi. When your intellect, which has been distracted by the conflicting statements of the scriptures, becomes steady and abides in the unshakable state of samadhi, then you will attain self-realization, the yoga. Yoga in its profound form is attaining union with God. Then union term again is figurative term. A patch of blue unites itself with the sky. Figurative. It is nothing but the sky. The soul unites itself with God. That's called yoga. How can that happen? As long as your intellect is distracted by conflicting statements of the scriptures, scriptures are not meant to distract your intellect. But if you start studying scriptures without proper guidance, they are extremely conflicting. And that doesn't relate just to scriptures. Study science, study mathematics. Get the mathematical book that is taught to the kindergarten people. Get the book that is taught to advanced people. And read how conflicting the talks are. In early state of mathematics, parallel lines are those that never meet. In advanced mathematics, parallel lines are those that must meet at infinity. If they don't, they are not parallel lines. Whom do you believe? So if you have a superficial way of looking into different ideas, you simply become disgusted. Nobody knows. Everybody is saying confused things. And teachings are like medicines. So many people say, 10 people, they have one similar experience. They're all suffering from headache. But they go to the doctor. To one, the doctor prescribes one medicine. To another person, he prescribes another medicine. And the patients, instead of taking the medicine, start fighting with the doctor. Putting humorously, the idea is all scriptures are trying to cure you of bhava vyadhi, the disease of the world process. But people are in different levels of evolution. What the type of teaching that applies to one doesn't apply to another. Brought out in Buddha's time in a form of a parable or an episode, one person comes to Buddha for his receiving the instruction. And Buddha looks at him, talks to him, and says, this entire world is big zero. Nothing exists. Nirvana, that's the reality. And the disciple adores the master, becomes very inspired, and he moves away. Another disciple comes. There were 4 of them, one after another. So the other one comes. And Buddha says, all this is mental. And you need to treat your mind in order to attain enlightenment. Mind is the reality here. The third disciple comes, and Buddha says, all this is not all mental. Some mental, some physical. That's the reality. To handle the world 2 ways. And the 4th disciple comes in, and Buddha says, are you hungry? He says, yes. Tells his disciple, give him food. No teaching. The person who was very close to Buddha, like secretary in modern language, he asked Buddha, oh Lord, why have you given different teachings? It's confusing my mind. And the poor man came, the last one, and we just sent him away without even giving him teaching. Buddha said the man was hungry. No teaching can be given. The person is suffering from deep hunger. And the person who received the teaching that the world is half mind and half reality, mental and physical reality both, because his mind was not advanced enough. If he is told all is in the mind, he is going to lock himself away in a room, stop doing everything. And within a few days, he will die. So he has to handle both. Third one is advanced, so he knows all is in mind, therefore he will make his life flow towards the enlightenment and will not view the world as an obstacle. Because the idea the world is an obstacle is in your mind, not in the world. The world is not a reality that's stopping you. What stops you is your concepts. Your concepts live in you, within your mind, not outside. So the outside world should not become a factor. And then, to the highly advanced, even the inner world of your concepts, etc., they are all like passing clouds. And when the clouds move away, nothing there. That's where you are. The sky without clouds, the sun without darkness. That's nirvana, that's your reality. So different teachings given to different aspirants because of what called adhikari bhed, differences in their qualification. And if you go on studying those scriptures, one day this type of scripture, another day for the third class aspirant, your mind will get confused. Cure lies in studying scripture under proper guidance. But if you are not, you are just led by the general impact of so many scriptures that come from the libraries, etc., then your mind is constantly confused. For 6 years you study Raj Yoga. another 6 years Jnana Yoga, another 6 years Christianity, another 6 years something else. And when another new scripture is placed in your hand, oh, I found it now, this is the best. If that is the predicament of your mind, then nothing can be achieved. But that doesn't exist, this predicament, in a person who is fit to attain enlightenment, moving towards enlightenment. His intellect has a clear grasp, an unwavering vision, and all the different teachings do not shake his mind. He understands their role. He is not shaken by them. He is not dependent upon them. That state has to be reached in your sadhana. If you have reached and perfected it, that's called sthita prajna. You are established in the enlightened state of consciousness. That's the goal of life. Arjuna uvacha sthita prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Arjuna said, O Krishna, what are the characteristics of the sage who is established in samadhi? Samadhi here refers to enlightened state. How does he of steady wisdom sit? How does he speak? How does he walk? What are the characteristics of one who is enlightened? And we'll take up next time. Om Shanti.